And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Starship Samurai. Now, when I first saw this game, I was extremely excited about it because they showed me these miniatures, these giant space samurai, like Voltron style, flying around in space, giant robots, fighting ships. It has that whole woohoo type theming to it. It's also from Plaid Hat games. I really tend to like the stuff that they put out. So the theming of this game had me from the get-go. Sure, it's ridiculous to have these giant robots out fighting stuff in space, but I don't care about any of that nonsense. So in this game, you are trying to rule the galaxy to some degree. It is kind of an area control, take that-ish style game. Here's how it plays. In this game, each player is going to be one major clan. So this is the clan here, and there's several smaller clans, and as the game goes by, you're going to try to control these clans and have them in your favor. The higher up you have these clans in your favor, you're going to get victory points. So that's one of the things. The other thing you're going to be trying to do is control different worlds that are going to be out there. So the game's going to take place over 4 rounds, and in each round you're going to draw cards here to show the different worlds that you're going to be fighting over. There's numbers here, but those numbers are just the order in that you're going to take care of these worlds and resolve them. Each player is going to start with 1 carrier ship and 8 fighter ships. And each player then is going to, and this is the most exciting part of the game, of course, start with 2 samurai, giant samurais. So this is done in a drafting way. You'll pass around the cards. At the top of the card is the power of the samurai, and at the bottom is their special ability. So you'll pick 2. So let's say I take this guy with a giant gun and this guy with the mane of hair. And so you'll put both of these here, and you will then take both of these samurai that you have with the rest of your units like that. Now, in each round, players are going to take turns. The first thing you'll do is, if you control a region, which means you have more power there than anyone else, you'll get the reward of that region. Now, sometimes the reward is get money, get a victory point, but most of the time it's move an order, or move a smaller clan. This one is this blue clan here. Now, if I move it 2, I can move it 2 in either direction. So if I'm the green player, I'm going to move it up 2 here. This bottom space is attached to everything. But let's say this player had it here on the 1 spot. I would move it down 1 and then up on mine. So you're either moving it up on your own or you're moving it down on someone else's so that you can then move it up on your own later on. After that, a player is going to pick one of their 4 orders, 1, 2, 3, 4, and place it on one of the order spots. You can place multiple ones in the same order spot. That's not a problem. And the number that you place is going to be how useful those spots are. So the first spot that you can put things on is you can move a clan marker, spaces, just like I just mentioned. So I can pick any clan marker and move it, the number that I put there. I can go here and draw action cards. There's a whole pile of action cards included with the game. I can go here and get wealth tokens. Wealth tokens are used for many different things. We'll talk about that. And I can move units. Moving units is a big one. When you move units, you can move units from your reserve to the battlefield. So I might say, okay, I'm going to move 3 units. I'm going to put 2 of these here, and I'm going to fly this guy in here also. Or maybe I'll fly this guy here, and I'll bring the carrier here. And when the carrier goes somewhere, he can bring 2 small ships with him. You'll notice there's spaces around each of these to put the different ships and things that you have, but there only is so many spaces that you can have things in. So if something is completely full and someone decides to bring a samurai there, this is the only thing that can do it. Samurai can just blow up the weakest ship that's there. Also, wealth can be used to augment the fighter ships. So as a free action on your turn, you can put wealth tokens underneath them to add +1 to that ship's power. Fighter ships are 1, carriers are 2, and the mechs are worth whatever they are worth. At the end of a round, there's going to be a big battle in each of the spots, and whoever has the highest power is going to get the rewards of that spot plus 5 victory points. Then they're removed. Now, before you do that, though, each player can play a battle card. Remember these action cards you can draw? Many of them are battle cards. Everyone starts with 2 battle cards. an elite general, which gives you +3. So everyone gets to play one. You can't play more than one. Or everyone can play this one, which says gain a wealth or draw an action card and put this back in your hand. So you can always play your change strategy card. But there are other battle cards that you can get as the game goes by that will change. There are all sorts of things here. +5 strength. This one, get +3, but if you lose, you can move your ships out. +1 for each unit in your thing. Move a samurai there. Hello, everyone. If you have a samurai there, destroy an enemy unit. If your only unit is a samurai, +4, +2, and then get the reward. So you can pick one of these to play, and it's going to go away. And then the winner is the only person to remove their ships, but they're the person who also gets the reward of that area. And then at the end of a round, we'll replace each spot that someone got rewards for with a new one. And so when these cards run out, the game is over. And technically, I guess the game's not 4 rounds, it's when these cards run out. But usually someone has a unit in every spot, so it's probably going to be 4 turns. You can also play these cards, these action cards. Many of them are orders, and you can play one of these before or after your turn. You just have to pay the cost on it. So this one here, it costs a victory point, but lets you destroy 2 units in your supply. And I should mention, in this game, when stuff gets destroyed, it gets moved over to the graveyard, but then it comes back for the next round. But you might run out of ships or things to move around. So you can destroy 2 units and pick someone else, and for each unit, they have to pay me 2 wealth or destroy 2 units in their supply. Here I can move a clan unit 6 spaces, but that costs me 3 points to do that. This one I have to kill one of my ships to blow up someone else's ships in location. Here I have to pay 3 wealth to move 6 units I control. When you move units, they can come from your supply, but you can also move units from one spot to another. Here I can move 2 clan markers up to 2 spaces each, but that costs me 2 ships. Here I can move 1 clan marker to where another clan marker is because they got married, and that costs me 2 wealth. And I think there's 2 copies of every card in the deck. There's all sorts of things. Some cards are orders, some cards are used in battle. And so having these cards, and there's a hand limit, but having these cards is a useful thing over the course of the game. So the board is a little reset after the end of each round. And after the final round, whoever has the most points wins. But after each turn, again, controlling these minor guys is really an important thing, because at the end of each round, where your clan markers are, the minor clans are, you're going to get that many points. So if I'm the green player and I have this, I'm going to get 8 plus 3, 11 points. So controlling these every round is going to get you a lot of points. At the end of the game, whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. Oh, these mechs are amazing. They're awesome, even if they are wearing a giant cape. I'm not sure. And this guy has a gun, which is gigantic. I mean, look how big these miniatures are. This guy has wings. These are great. The plastic moves a little bit, so you're not worried about them breaking or anything. But I really like how these guys look, and I'm sure they would look even better when painted. While they're the best thing about the game, though, they're also the worst component of the game. And this is a flaw, which I was kind of surprised. You don't know whose mechs are whose. Sure, you have a picture, and some are easier to tell apart than other. You know, this guy here has hair. That's easy to tell, the guy with the cape. But the problem is when you're looking in an arena, I'm like, wait, whose mech is that? That's your mech. And I just wish they had those colored bases that other companies make, like Simon, you know, the snap-on bases. I really wish those had been included with this game, because it would have been a lot easier to just at a glance say whose mech is in what system. We found ourselves asking this all the time. In fact, we put little stickers on the bases just to help differentiate them. Then there's also just the counting up the power at a thing. That's not as big of a deal, but quickly at a glance seeing who's controlling your region can help out a lot. The artwork in this game is phenomenal. Oh my, I am so impressed by these cards. I mean, this is just, these worlds, they look so great. And it really gives this, just adds this layer of theme to the game. I mean, look at that. This is my favorite one. What does that thing even eat? Is it alive? I don't know, but it's cool. And so I really like the artwork in this game, and even on the action cards. There's a lot of cool artwork, and the action cards are really easy to see what they do. The symbology on this game is cool. The worlds themselves are a little bland, but it doesn't matter because they have this card put on them. See, this would be all boring, but you add that. The ships, and you know, they're really cool. I like how they look. Overall, the production quality of this game, very high. Now the game looks phenomenal on the table, right? And it also plays in a reasonable amount of time. I would say a little over an hour. There's a lot of really cool things about this game. I really like the order marker system. This is something I like in games. Like put an order marker there, that's the action you take, that's how many times you can take it. So you're like, ooh, well obviously I want to put a 4 on the move, get a bunch of guys on the board. Sure, but getting some cards would be pretty useful. And if you get that wealth, you can use it on cards or buff up your spaceships. But I want to get my samurai out here too. And then you forget, hey, moving those order markers, that's really important. That's like how you get a lot of points in the game. And maybe I need some more wealth. So it's a nice rounded system. That system, and it works extremely well. It's your turn, pick one of those 4 order markers, put it on one of those 4 things, and then take that action. Some actions are fast, take well, all the actions are fast really, except for the movement. The action cards though. So here's the deal. This game is essentially an area control game. You are having a bunch of guys in areas, and there's fights, and you play cards, and the cards will sway the fights, right? But for the most part, if I have overwhelming majority in the area, you're going to kind of back off. I'm going to win that area. So you want to control different regions, not just for the benefits that you get every turn, but also for having victory points for that. And the game has a very nice, hey, wipe everybody out of the system if you've won, so that lets other people go in. Fine. That's cool. But what makes this game really intriguing are those cards. You have battle cards and you have order cards. And those order cards are mean. So that would be a warning that I would give if you're watching this video. This is essentially, like I said, it's area majority, but there's also a lot of take that in the game. You are wailing on each other. There are cards. You have to go into this saying, my stuff's going to get blown up and attacked and beat up on all the time. And if I'm winning, it's probably going to happen to me more than the other players. That is definitely the case here. There are cards, boom, blow up some of this stuff here. Boom, I move this over here. Boom, you lose this money and this clan you were controlling goes down. And there's this constant boom, 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 boom. Now for a 2-player game, you don't notice it as much because, hey, you're just in each other's face the whole time. In a 4-player game, you can be like, wait a minute, excuse me, I'm not winning anymore, stop picking on me. But the whole thing comes together. It's one of the meanest games I've played in a while, but that's fine because that's the way the game is supposed to be played. But I know that that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone's going to like that. Although, the game is called Starship Samurai, so I don't know what you're getting into. That's here. But this cool theme plays well. Some people also might look for, what are these cool things these robots do? Well, they don't always do that, right? You can do some cool things. Some of them, like the guy with the gun, they each have a special ability. The guy with the gun can shoot a ship anywhere on the board. The one guy adds 1 to all the ships. One guy doesn't have much special ability at all, but he's a 6 strength. And every time he show up in a system, I'd be like, oh, this guy here again. So they do have their unique personalities, but combat is just basically play 1 card, add it to your thing. So if you're looking for a game full of combat, the combat's here, but it's in card play, it's in controlling and moving those things, and I think there's enough moving pieces here that a lot of folks are really going to like this, especially with the time frame that it's in. So great theme, great. The time play, it seems to scale very well. Components are amazing. I like how it plays. Definitely not going to be for everybody, though, just based on the whole... And some people aren't going to like the fact that 1 card can mess up their carefully laid plans. But overall, I did enjoy it. It kind of delivers on exactly what I was looking for. I wanted a box full of giant space robots and ships fighting each other. It does seem like it's a little tailor-made for expansions. There's a card that each player gets for their fighter ship and carrier ship. Why do I need these cards? Why couldn't they just been printed on the board? It feels like those cards were made because you'll be able to have other ships in the future, and I'm sure more samurai will show up. I want to see a giant, Robo Godzilla type creature or whatever. Or, I don't know. Or one that can come apart. 5 of your ships can go together and form another bigger ship. I don't know. Well, no, I do know. That's what I want. But I don't think it needs expansions. It just feels like it's set up that way. But it is very entertaining. One of the coolest looking games of the year. And if this theme excites you, you're going to like the game. That's the easiest recommendation I can make. Dice Tower Judgment approved.